people of South Segoria, friends and family, enemies and rivals. I would like to share a bit of history. Like most of you listening, I was not always the person you've come to know today. I've been transformed by this world. Previously, I was a tactical aircraft maintenance mechanic with the 51st out of Osan Air Force Base, Republic of Korea. I did not participate in conflict, but I aided the aircraft pilots that did. The only time I was required to carry a weapon was to meet the yearly qualification requirements. I was sent on a TDY to Chinaris with my squadron to provide air support and supplies in an attempt to slow down the rate of infection across the land. Upon arrival, we were quickly overrun. The US military, as it does, got heavily involved with a situation that it didn't fully understand, and we were having to deal with the consequences. We held our own for quite a while, living out of sheds and abandoned houses, using what supplies we could find. As the nights grew longer and the winters colder, my flight chief's mental fortitude weakened, and he started leading us into increasingly dangerous situations. One night, I awoke to hear an uncontrollable sobbing. I opened the cabin door to see my flight chief on his knees, tears streaming down his face with an M18 pressed against his temple. With my blurry vision, I could barely make out the 8 bodies of my fellow airmen laying in the snow around him. He glanced up, a quick smile, and cried, "I lost hope," as he sprayed his brains across the snow with the others. I lived in that cabin in 3 Valleys for almost 6 months before I set out on my own. Couldn't leave without giving my brothers and sisters a proper burial. I waited for the snow to melt and I started digging. I vowed from that day forward to not lose hope, to not lose myself, to be a better man, to stand up for what I know to be right, to protect those that I care about, and to provide for those in need. I recently left the Overlook because I did not feel that we were fulfilling our promise to helping those in need. We were too concerned with our own problems to care about anyone else's. We built the barn up with defenses in mind and not people. We valued our neutrality over doing what was right. We became another group surviving and not providing. Around the time I noticed that the Overlook was transforming into something different from what I had tried to build, a man called Gator, later revealed to be Boone, started embedding himself with groups in the southeast, including ours, claiming he was trying to sabotage the aggressive groups in the area like Blackthorn Gang and Darkest Midnight. Initially, I had my suspicions about him, but I was too concerned with leading the Overlook to realize he was using us to gain intel for his gang. I found this out only after I went to confront Mike Callahan about the death of my good friend Bo, a death I had not properly been able to mourn. I was so caught up in my own bullshit that I didn't even get to say my goodbyes. I had the cult breathing down my neck, Blackthorn Gang, Dark as Midnight, Forsaken Loyalist all showing up at my doorstep, my own group questioning my leadership, and close friends being murdered for trying to do what was right. I'd fallen away from my values and the people I cared about. I was losing myself. They say, those who cannot learn from history are doomed to repeat it. I've spent the last few weeks attempting to learn from my own history, as well as the history of those that have come before me. There are stories I've read and tapes I've listened to that have inspired me to be a better person, to find my true self. But I've learned that being a better person doesn't always mean you have to be good. It means you have to do what's right. Some of you may have believed that I was dead. I am not. I am very much alive. A wise man once believed that heroes could be fools, villains could be wise men, and that each is the other in someone else's story. Well, my friends, consider me a fool.